Pleasure to welcome back to New Brunswick from the Watchmen, Mr. Danny Greaves. Danny, welcome back to New Brunswick. Great to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having us.
I wanted to introduce you guys as, EMI or MCA recording artists, but you're now on EMI.
Yeah, it's a whole new family.
Now, how are they treating you now? What's the difference?
The difference is things are good. Things are good, generally. I mean, we had 3 great records with the other guys, but it was time for a change, and EMI was right there in the wings, and it's a good place to be right now. They're treating us real good.
Now, of course, you recently released your latest album, which I'm going to show up a copy right here.
Just happen to have it handy.
Yes, Silent Radar, produced by Adam Kaspler.
Right.
And I guess he's worked with REM and Soundgarden, bands like that.
Yeah, those are sort of the two most recent that he's worked with, and he's a great guy. We met a bunch of guys, and he was the last one we met, and it was really, really cool. The best thing about it is that he was a good guy to hang around with. You know, that's really important when you're making a record. You're living with somebody for a couple of months, and it's good if he's a cool guy. You know, it helps anyway. So it was great. Seattle was beautiful town, beautiful people. You know, no complaints. It was my best recording experience ever, definitely.
It was recorded in the studio owned by a guitar player from Pearl Jam, I believe.
Yeah, Stone Gossard Studio. So, you know, just by nature of that, it's definitely set up to cater to bands. You know, it's not really a corporate stiff feeling place. It's just comfortable old couches, beat up, you know, stuff everywhere. It's just really, you know, great gear. I mean, the gear is the main thing. It's not the stuff around it, but if you're comfortable, it really seeps its way into the recording. That's what we found anyway.
Some people not realize, but you guys have been together for 10 years. How do you keep things fresh now every night after being together that long?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I think what it is if we weren't writing good tunes, and if we weren't happy with the stuff we were doing, if the albums were getting worse as opposed to getting better, it wouldn't have lasted this long. But we come upon new ideas, and we're always sort of trying to reinvent what we're doing. You know, it's our 4th record, and we've had a lot of practice at it, and in our opinion, that we're getting better at it. So it's just sort of natural to sort of keep it going. When I get sick of hearing our tune on the radio or seeing my face on TV or playing with those guys, then, you know, that'll be when it is. But we got some more great records in us, I think.
Okay, because you're certainly not mechanical on stage. You're very lively on stage.
Yeah, well, it's just natural. You know, you get up on stage and you just you know, you're doing your thing. You know, I'm more comfortable when I'm singing than doing anything else, really. So it's very natural.
Well, I found quite interesting the new album you released on the internet, the album cover, a little bit at a time.
Right.
Also had sound bites every other day from the album, and of course it's being an interactive CD as well. Mm-hmm. You guys all computer buffs?
Ken's the real geek in the band. I don't know how to turn mine on yet. I'm the least sort of into that sort of thing, just because I don't know, it sort of freaks me out a little bit. But at the same time, it's been a great way to keep in touch with fans. I mean, we have quite an extensive website. The whole interactive thing was brand new technology. It's never been done before. I like that aspect of it, and just the fact that people can see our show here tonight and leave us a note, you know, later on tonight. We'll get it tomorrow, and it's just a real quality way of keeping in touch with the people who are, you know, supporting our career, and that's the key, you know.
Okay.
So.
What I like about the album, actually, it's a little different than the typical interactive CDs where you just get some sound bites and video clips and stuff like that. You actually can link onto your website, right, and it changes every day, so it's quite interesting.
Well, yeah, that's the whole technology. It's not like CD-ROM, and that. I mean, with CD-ROM, it's just sort of static information, which is cool and was cool when it came out. But it's just sort of the same thing over and over. With this, it is and can virtually be a different experience every time you're there, and that's the new thing, and that's sort of what keeps it lively, keeps it fresh.
Another great thing for fans who bought the first few copies of the album, they get actually send away and get a free live CD, which is quite interesting. Whose idea was that?
It was kind of all of ours, you know. Again, another way to sort of make people, just get people into what we're doing. You know, we haven't had a record out for, well, I don't know, whenever the last one was. So it's just good to just do stuff a little differently. You know, we did a show in Toronto, 3 shows at the Horseshoe, of which we sort of grabbed some live tracks and mixed them down, and they sound pretty good. So we're running with it. I think we're giving away about 5,000 of them, and so it's great. It's a nice sort of collector's thing for people who are interested in collecting, you know, and that's great.
You guys are from Winnipeg, of course, famous for the Guess Who and Neil Young. What's the music scene like now today in Winnipeg, besides yourselves?
It's vibrant, I think. Winnipeg has always been, for some reason, I don't know if it's just the bitchin' winters we have or what, but I mean, it has a world-class ballet and opera and symphony, and it's thriving with sort of artistic creation of every kind, and lots of places to play. Every time I get back in town, there's always new bands I've never heard of, and it's just great. It sort of just perpetuates the whole music thing, you know. And it's been getting a lot of attention lately, but it's always been happening, you know, since we started, which was 10 years ago, and from before that, I mean, in the 60s, and there's always stuff going on there, and it feels, we're really proud to say we're from there.
I read somewhere you guys are friends with Neil Young. Any chance you guys hooking up, do something?
I think what you read was incorrect. I went to the same school he did, but I mean, that was, obviously I went slightly after he did, but no, we're not friends. I'd love to hook up with him, though.
Like me, I went to school with Holly Cole, but I don't really remember it that well.
That's right. Yeah, we'd love to. That would be a cool thing for us.
Okay. Any advice you guys could give to a young band?
No, keep going. Just keep going. Keep writing tunes. Write your own tunes. And don't listen to anybody else. Just do what you feel. Well, this all sort of sounds cheesy, but it's all quite true. Just do what you feel, and don't stop, and don't give up, and go on the road, and drink lots of beer.
Okay, just getting back to the album now. It seems to have more of a live feel to it. Is that conscious effort on your part?
Definitely conscious. We just kind of went with things. We just sort of went with the vibe of things. We weren't very meticulous, or as meticulous as we have been. I think when you're in a studio atmosphere, there's a real sort of fear of getting caught up with all the sort of trickery, you know. And you do a song like 50 times, and it can squeeze the life out of it. And I mean, all the tunes on this record were they were like first take, second take, and it was, you know, it was just sort of how it felt, is the feel of the whole tune, not the particular is the guitar tuning in, was that note flat, or the drums speed up a half a beat per minute in the bridge and all that kind of crap, you know. It was just really just like, how does a song feel, and that's it, you know. And if it feels good, then go with it. So I think when you do that over and over, sort of, you know, with all the tunes, and leave this in, and little kind of mistakes here and there that kind of add to the humanity of music, when you leave that in sort of for 12 tunes worth of stuff, it just sort of feels that way, you know. It's a really intangible, but if we were to really be analytical about it, just on every step of the way, that record wouldn't sound the way it does, and I'm really happy that we weren't, and I'm happy that it sounds the way it does.
Great. Now, has it been released outside of Canada, the U.S. or Europe or anywhere like that?
We just got back from Europe about 10 days ago. It was great. Germany, Holland, Denmark, England, and we'll be going back, and it was a great experience. And yeah, it has been released there, and we're going to continue to try and widen the nets and get other people talking about the Watchmen.